Namaskar and a very good morning. Welcome to the audio cast from Kotak Securities. I'm your host and guide, Anindya Bannerjee. कल US stock markets closed deep in the red as Asian equities may sell off है, but SGX is not showing a much of a cut in the Nifty, which is a good thing for the rupee. Our oil prices are also down below 110 on the Brent. That's again another positive for the Indian rupee. And interestingly, offshore mein, during the early hours of Asian trading, the spot was trading, or spot reference was trading around 79.19. But it sharply pulled back towards 78.97 unchanged a few minutes back. This could be a sign of an intervention. We are not sure, but could be a sign of an intervention in the offshore market as well. So, एक point is very clear, considering the price action over the past couple of days, that the central bank intervention closer to 79 is very heavy. So whether the dollar rupee is able to punch through that intervention or not, we have to see, because RBI is showing resolve to protect 79 as of now, because they believe letting the dollar rupee go through 79 and much higher will increase the volatility in the currency, which they do not want. So देखना यही है कि 79 becomes a cap or not. If 79 becomes a cap, then we have to change our strategy, but as of now it is still buy on dips. You can use futures or options. Options में क्या होता है कि especially call spreads, your risk is defined and low. But in futures, in such markets, a sudden big intervention or a big flow can just push the prices 20-25 paisa, and then it can snap back. But in that process, your stops can get hit. So therefore, it is better to use call spreads than to use futures unless you have got bigger stop losses. But bias is still upward because global risk sentiment is fragile. But a couple of things are good positive signs eventually. One is the fall in the oil prices. The second is the pullback in the US bond yields. Abhi US 10-year is below 3%, which is a positive signal. But these are also hints of a broader risk-off in the system, that the traders are becoming concerned that the global economic growth is going to slow dramatically, and that's the reason why commodity prices are falling so sharply, and inflation expectation will eventually come down. But ultimately, recessionary trade leads to lower prices, and that cures inflation. So that is something which is a medium to long-term phenomena. But आज के लिए एक तरफ जैसे कुछ पॉजिटिव है फॉर द इंडियन रुपी, दूसरे तरफ द ग्लोबल रिस्क सेंटिमेंट इज क्वाइट फ्रेजाइल, विच इज नेगेटिव, एंड प्लस आरबीआई इंटरवेंशन इज देयर. तो देखना यही है कि डॉलर रुपी शोज सम मोमेंटम ऑन द अपसाइड और नॉट, और इट गेट्स स्टक इन अ रेंज एज इट हैज बीन फॉर द पास्ट 2 trading sessions. Considering the price action over the past 2 trading sessions, it was not easy to trade USDINR, because shorting options here, straddles or strangles, is not very sensible from the risk reward perspective, unless we see a credible sign that the upside is completely capped, because the implied volatility is still very low, and considering the risk of a flare up is high, the risk to reward on such short trades is not advisable. So therefore, and at the same time, if you are going long, you will get frustrated because there is no upside momentum. You can always have a positional long through a call spread with a defined risk. That can be done in your portfolio, that you buy a call spread with a, let's say, a July 27th with a month end option, and you have a defined risk of 15 to 20 paisa, and you carry the position. That is a better way to trade than just trying to play momentum in this market, because you will get stopped out quite occasionally. So keep that in mind, that this is a market where you need to trade less, because the more you trade, the more is the risk you pay money to the market. Wait for clarity to emerge, wait for momentum to emerge. And as we said, that shorting options here, we are not very comfortable. We'd like to see more evidence that the risks on the upside have abated before we start selling options. But people who are wanting to short straddles or strangles, it is better that you convert them to iron flies or iron condors, because your risk or maximum risk will be defined. In the crosses, Euro INR, GBP INR, both will be under pressure, but risk off और pullback in the US bond deals के कारण dollar yen has pulled back, which means yen INR will have an upside bias today. So that's it, folks. This is Anindya Bannerjee signing off. Fantastic.